Students that spend a lot of time on their phone end up being lazy to doing their homework. They end up performing less in classes. They end up having little knowledge or no confidence in the classroom. This is because they have not taken enough time to prepare. Welcome to dacollins.tv, educational, motivational, and inspirational platform. Hi, welcome to dacollins.tv. I hope this video meets you well. I appreciate everyone that has been viewing this on YouTube, watching this on our Instagram page. I appreciate every comment, every remark. It has been helpful so far. Last week, we had a topic titled Education and the Social Media. And we were able to drop in some facts that the social media is very important because it has helped a lot of businesses to grow. It's through the social media I'm able to communicate with you right now. And still, when it comes to education, the social media is a major form of distraction to the learners. And the learners we were talking about are majorly students under the age of 18 that are not yet an adult, still in secondary school, still in primary school. So I was establishing the fact that if you're not yet matured enough, it is not good for you to handle the phone, to go through social media, because it can be a huge form of distraction to the learners. So today, I still want to speak more on that topic because there were a lot to be said and I couldn't accomplish it based on the time frame to give a video that would not be too lengthy. I'm still speaking on the topic education and social media, and I can say this is part 2 of it. Now, I want to let you also understand that the social media is a very important tool, even in terms of education. At the higher institutional level, we use social media to can create groups on the social media that can be used to communicate, to pass information. Also, the social media helps to relate to one another concerning assignments, what you're not clear with. Maybe you're not in the classroom. What did the lecturer teach? What was the lecture? Is there any issue you need to be aware of? Exam timetable, what is happening? The social media helps to update you in a lot of ways. So it is a very important tool. I'm not taking it on one-sided. I'm not saying it's not important, but I'm talking about the age grade here. If you are not up to the state of using it, knowing the importance, you will abuse it. So I'm centering my discussion on the importance of the social media, and I'm also looking about the disadvantage the social media have on the formative age, on those in primary school, on those in secondary school, because at this point in time, they may not really know the importance, or they may not really have self-control on what they need to do and how they need to manage the social media. Now, various factors have been said, but I really want to ponder now on some things that I feel have been a major problem to learning. One of the major problems of the social media is that it brings about a weakness, fewer academic performance from the learners. Fewer academic performance. It makes them to weak, it makes them to lazy. Students that spend a lot of time on their phone end up being lazy to doing their homework. They end up performing less in classes. They end up having little knowledge or no confidence in the classroom. This is because they have not taken enough time to prepare. They don't have enough time to build themselves for that learning activity. They've not had enough time to study to show themselves approved unto God, like scripture will say. They've not had there enough time for them to study, to build themselves, to understand what the class is about. A child that wants to be ahead of the classroom, read ahead of the teacher, goes ahead of the classroom, read topics that are yet to be treated, because they don't have any other thing they're doing than concentrating on their studies. But when you find yourself involving in social media, it distracts you and takes you away from so many things that you need to concentrate on. Social media, if you don't know the importance of it, if you don't know how to manage it, is a huge form of distraction, even to adults. If you're not careful, if you're not mindful, irrespective of age, the social media can distract you from achieving your goals. If you have job to do and you say you just want to come online, check what is happening, if you are not careful of your timing, you can spend more time checking what is happening than the job that is on your desk for you to do and for you to accomplish. it is a huge form of distraction. And I found out something. The moment you keep your phone out of sight, you have enough time to think about those things you're not even thinking of. It's like telling somebody to go to the mountain for prayer. When you go to the mountain for prayers, you don't go with your phone. Because when you go with your phone to the mountain, you'll be distracted. You will not have that time to connect. You will not have that time to think or pray towards certain areas you need to pray towards. The phone has come to help in terms of communication, bridging the gap between a lot of people, but still, if it's not properly utilized, it is a major form of distraction. And this is what happens in our learning system today. We have brought this phone to the learners, people that are not matured enough to use the phone, and they ended up abusing the usage. That is why a lot of students are not doing well today in school, because they spend a lot of their time on the social media that they can spend studying. They hardly even know what was taught in the previous class. The moment they left school, the moment they are done, they close for the day. The studying, the learning has also closed for the day. Most of them, they use other students who are prudent to do their own work to meet up with certain assignments given in the classroom. What they do is that they go and do what gives them unnecessary pleasure. They spend a lot of time on the social media doing things that are not affecting them positively. They spend a lot of time doing things that are not within their targets, within their goals. And this is one of the major problems we have in the education system today. It's not as though the school is not trying. It's not as though the right administration is not in place or the policy. It's not as though the instructional materials are not good enough. But you cannot force someone to learn. Learning is not by force. It's a willing attribute. It has to be something that comes from within. It's like they say, you cannot take an horse to the stream and force the horse to drink water. You must come to the point of knowing that, yes, you are ready to acquire this knowledge. You cannot force learning on a child because it has to do with the mind. It has to do with the understanding. The mind must be prepared before it can be able to acquire. And when someone spends a lot of their time on things that are not connecting to their mind and their future, there's no way you can make them concentrate on what they need to concentrate on. So these are things that we need to checkmate. It's not that we're saying that the social media is bad. Like I said, it is not a bad platform. It has helped a lot of people. But for those that are not matured enough, that are still growing, it's helped to facilitate laziness among the learners, because it makes them to become lazy. They spend too much time doing things they are not supposed to do. So the social media is not a platform that should be made to be easy accessible to those that are not yet matured. And like I said, if they need to do some assignments online, they should use a laptop, or even if you are using your phone, there should be some control. You can be there with them. You can't say you are too busy chasing after money, chasing after life, and you don't even want to create the little time to check the people you are chasing, whatever you're chasing for. This age is too fast. They learn too quick. Whatever this IC wants, they run with it, and they are not coming back again. So we must prevent them. We must prevent what they acquire. We must prevent what they take in. Because whatever we are facing today in the country, be it in the government, the system, whatever it is as a result of the foundation that was laid. If your proper foundation is not laid, you cannot build a better nation. We need to inculcate the habit of learning and learning accordingly in the life of this younger generation. They need to understand that there is a time for everything. You don't go and start spending a lot of time on things that will not contribute to your future. And when it's time for you to build your future, you are not available because you have nothing to offer. A lot of people have, even when they say there's no job out there, there's a lot of job opportunity. But it's just that because people are not qualified or they don't have the required knowledge, they are not given the opportunity. There are still people employing. There are still jobs out there. If you go to different search engines, you will see a lot of job offers out there. But these jobs cannot get to you if you are not fully equipped. If you have not built yourself to the level of meeting the criteria, you cannot get this job. So this all starts when you build yourself properly. Take away those time that you spend doing things that are not important. Those time you spend on social media as a young one, it will help you when you spend that same time on your studies. That's why we can have good students with A's all over in their WAECs. We can have students beating the JAM record over and over again. Those students are not the kind of students that spend their time on social media day and night. They have time for everything. You can have also your own time to have that fun you want to have, but create the time and draw the borderline. Do not spend all your time on social media when you know you're still in the studying stage, when you know you're still a student, you know you're still learning. That time you put in the social media, if you put that same time, that same strength, that same attention on your books, your study, I tell you, you will do 10 times better than you're doing currently. Have partners, have friends that can build you more to understand what you're doing at the point in time. When you hang around people that are not encouraging you to do the right thing, you will end up doing that wrong thing all the days of your life. This is how far we're going to raise this topic. Next week, I think I'm going to speak on something different, but it will still be connected to education. Like I said, this platform is meant to educate, it's meant to inspire, it's meant to motivate, and it's meant to encourage the younger generation to face their mind on a better direction which they are going to go through. If you have not seen our previous video, I want to use this opportunity to tell you to follow us on our Instagram page, dacollins guy, and you can see the handles is currently on the screen. You can also go to YouTube, dacollins.tv, subscribe, click the notification button, and every new video that pops up, you will get a notification of it. I appreciate everyone that has been on this platform so far. Thank you very much. Welcome to dacollins.tv, educational, motivational, and inspirational platform.